Gamers like being good at things. All the way since back in the day where having the highest score on the Donkey Kong arcade machine meant you were intellectually superior to everyone else there in every way. Developers have given the player a way to understand how good they are at the game for years, be it scores or giving you some kind of letter rank for completing an individual stage. Sometimes these rankings offer tangible rewards like new levels or Samus taking her clothes off, and other times they're completely pointless and just offer bragging rights. Fire Emblem introduced that idea in FE4, ranking the player based on how well they beat the game, and that continued for FE5, 6, and 7 before mysteriously vanishing like my checking account after I drive by a Taco Bell. Now, I never messed with these because they don't actually offer any reward in-game, but you know what? I play Fire Emblem for a living, and I think I'm going to prove to you all how much worse I am at it than you. So come join me as I attempt to tackle getting a perfect Tactician rank for the first time in my life. For this challenge, I will be playing on FE7 Elowood Normal, and you might be asking yourself, why Elowood Normal instead of Hector Hard? If your toddler is trying to play in the NFL, you don't start him in the NFL and watch him get murdered by Ray Lewis, you put him in Little Leagues. FE7 is so judgmental it grades you on 5 different ranks: Tactics, Survival, Funds, Experience, and Combat. First of all, let's talk about Survival because that's the easiest. Don't get anyone killed. The end. Well, it's actually not that simple. See, it only counts dead units that you have. If a unit dies while it's green or red, even if it was recruitable, it doesn't actually die. So, green and red people aren't real people. That's why the Redskins aren't around anymore. The funds rank is your net worth. How much is every single thing you own put together worth? That means you can spend as much gold as you want. As long as the items you spend it on are in your inventory, you're fine. Basically, this is telling you not to use all the actually cool weapons in the game, because those will break and those are worth a lot of money, and instead, can you beat the game with nothing but steel swords? The next thing you're judged on is your combat ratio. You need a good ratio of killing dudes to not killing dudes. Like, a weak ratio is when you see a gimmick account like dudes posting their W's, and it's just a dude happy about his first forklift, and that's got over 100,000 likes. And then some dude's like, not a real W, and 8 people liked it, all 8 of which are probably his mother's alternate accounts. No, not that kind of weak ratio. You need a strong ratio. Like L plus Cope plus Seethe plus Mauled plus Mad 'Cause Bad plus Cringe plus Touch Grass plus Maidenless plus Didn't Ask plus Don't Care plus Unfunny plus Your Parents or Cousins plus You Fell Off plus Light Mode plus Skill Issue plus Pee Your Pants plus Anime Profile Pic plus Updated Autopsy Report plus Cope Again plus Your Mom Gay plus No You plus Eat Rock, plus Unsubscribe, plus Auto Comboer, plus Player 2, plus Dab, plus Magic Cylinder, plus Danganronpa Fan, plus Jet Set Ratio! Or to describe what it actually does, just kill your enemy in 40% of your encounters. If you weaken an enemy with one unit, kill him with another, that's a 50% combat ratio. Just as long as you can keep doing that, you get 5 stars. It's actually the easiest thing to maintain. The last ones are the hard ones. There's the Tactics rank, which means you have to beat the game in under 300 turns, and then there's also the Experience rank, which means you need to get 369 or more level ups. These are the two that directly conflict with each other. If you go through the game with a small squad of Marcus and... well, that's it really, just Marcus, and blaze through the maps, your turn count will be great, but you won't be given experience around evenly, and that rank will suffer. If you baby everyone up, take your time, soften enemies, and give everyone a bunch of kills, then your experience rank will be perfect, but it will take you about as long as it takes to listen to a single Pink Floyd song, so your turn count will suffer. Keeping these two things in balance is the hardest thing to do, and what I foresee giving me the biggest amount of trouble. It's not as bad as it sounds though. Beating the game in under 300 turns seems like no time, but it actually is about 11 turns per map, and 11 turns is a lot more than you think it is. But hey, I've stalled long enough, let's just jump right into Chapter 1. Which, since I'm not fucking with Lin mode, is actually Chapter 11. But hey, it's got ones in there. Chapter 11 doesn't do that much differently than if you were just doing a regular playthrough. I use everyone equally and I try to spread the XP around so I can get a good experience rank. There are only two things I really do of note. One, with Dorcas and Bartray, I pass around the iron axe like it was a blunt in that 70s show, because I trust the steel axe's hit rate about as much as I trust notes in Elden Ring about an illusionary wall being ahead. The only other thing of note I do is with the boss. I want to kill him with Lowen, but I don't have the time to sit around and wait for how long it would take Lowen to 1v1 him. So I have Marcus wait in front with the steel lance equipped. Marcus kills him if both hits connect, but he only has a 60% hit rate, and 60% is close to 50%, so it's basically a 50% hit rate. So I need one 50-50 to go one way, and then another to go the other way, which is pretty much a 100% chance of happening. Don't check the math on that, because that's exactly what happens, so therefore, I'm correct. And then after that, Lowen kills the boss, and I seize and move on. Dick all really happens in Chapter 12. It's a route map in the early game. Playing for tactics doesn't really change what you do, you kinda just go forward and kill everything. Yeah. Oh, Ellawood got a crit on the boss. That was kind of interesting. I don't have a joke for this chapter, so I'm just gonna put the word penis on screen and call it humor. Chapter 13 doesn't have a lot going on either. It's a fairly simple map, almost like this is only the third map of Ellawood's story. All I really do here is I split the party into two groups. Ellawood and Hector go up north, and then everyone else goes another way. This is something that I do fairly frequently throughout the run. The key to finishing things quickly to get a good tactics rank is to just split things up rather than keep your army grouped up so you can conquer multiple objectives at once. In this case, Ellawood and Hector get the village to start the Merlinus side quest, and then everyone else goes down south to go recruit the Mermanin. So yeah, fairly simple chapter all around, nothing too crazy here. Though I will admit it's very weird to see me using Rebecca this late. Normally by now I've already put her on the bench, and the bench doesn't even exist yet. Alright, time for 13X. First things first though, Bartray starts this chapter getting a level up. Give me something good! 13X is a defend map, which means we can't actually complete it quickly. Because, you know, it ends when it decides it ends. This isn't a map where killing the boss ends it fast. So we just literally play this one exactly as you would in a casual run. The only thing of note that happens this chapter is that I die. Yeah, I forget this boss moves. So I moved someone in his range, and they died. Which, you know, accidentally aggroing an enemy is like on the list of top 5 things that most frequently kill gamers. But all it takes is one simple reset and then not moving people in the boss's range like a moron, and this chapter is done easy peasy with no survivors left to tell the tale. Chapter 14 starts off with an immediate problem. Urk is a green person. We don't want Urk to be a green person. So right from the word go, I run over with Marcus and rescue Urk, with the intention of dropping him off so I can recruit him immediately with Sarah at the start of turn 2. I want to do this quickly so that I can get Urk to a blue unit and get him experience as quickly as possible, as being a level 1 mage means that he gets experience very quickly, and that's good for that experience rank. Of course, I immediately get him killed after this because I'm not thinking about how much he can't dodge things yet, but that's neither here nor there. After that, this map is kind of just a route map. I go through, I kill everything, I try to be quick about it. The only problem is it starts raining, which I forget is a mechanic every single time I play this map. Don't ask me why, I'm just built stupid. But not stupid enough to not end this chapter with 5 stars across the board. According to Marcus, at least. Chapter 15 marks the introduction of Lynn's Legion, and I use pretty much all of them now. Florina's a flyer, which means, you know, I can use her a lot. She gets very far. Her base stats suck a pair of monkey balls, but that can be dealt with. Lynn I decide to use because she's a force deploy on a lot of maps, so like, I might as well. This is also Ellawood normal mode, so her flaws don't really stick out too much, and she can contribute fine. Kend and Sane are a no-brainer. They're the Christmas calves. I don't think there's a single game where the Christmas calves are bad. I just remembered FE5. Will I don't actually use because Will sucks, so yeah. So this is as good as a map as any to bring up what I'm doing with Merlinus and the stat boosters. See, Merlinus is an immortal god. If he is ever defeated,
he doesn't actually die, he just runs away. Because of this, if he ever dies, he doesn't actually count against the survival rank, which is cool. Unfortunately, his experience doesn't count towards the experience rank, because Merlinus doesn't technically gain experience, he just levels up. It's weird, but that's how that works. And with the stat boosters, I'm not using any of them, because they're worth a lot of money, and I need them in the convoy for a good funds rank. Because of this, I'm also not selling any of the colored gems I get, because you technically sell them for half of their value. So for gold, I'm only making do with what the game automatically gives me, and anything I get in the arena. I'm explaining all of this now, because this chapter is pretty boring. I'm just kind of going from point A to point B, not too complex of a strategy is involved here. Chapter 16's strategy for a good tactics rank is the simplest one of them all, the power of the javelin. I don't know how she managed to do it, but Lynn got her entire castle overtaken by 80% archers, which means if we want to push through them, we just have Kane and Sent go up armed with javelins, and we're able to kill them as we progress forward, rather than they attack us and then we have to go attack them, and it's only player phase killing. This map really is just a straight line, so for a good tactics rank, we just want to go in that straight line as fast as possible. The only thing I do other than that is I do leave Hector and Florina down south to take care of the reinforcements. I don't actually care about protecting Merlinus' life, I just care about the experience those cavaliers give me. So, you're lucky, Merlinus. You get to live this map. And with this chapter done, I'm sitting at mostly 5-star rankings, except for a 4-star on funds, which I assumed was because I was using the Rapier and the Wolf Bale a lot. Chapter 16X has two strategies, going safely along the top, losing out on some goodies, but being 100% safe, or running straight ahead like a dumbass chimpanzee. Now can you guess which one I picked to do? Now the strategy for running forward is actually a fairly simple one. We put Raven on a forest right in the middle of everything, and we just keep resetting the game until he lives. This isn't some kind of speed run. We can reset a chapter as much as we want, so we just keep doing the exact same thing over and over again until Raven doesn't die. After littering the universe with what must be several dozen Raven corpses, we manage to survive and we can then just push through the rest of the map. After that initial barrage of bullshit, nothing else really stands in our way. Oh right, the Killing Edge boss paladin. You would think that would be a problem, but Marcus is actually strong enough with the Horse Slayer to do exactly enough damage to kill him. So he's not even that much of a problem. No, the real problem is the arena. Because I try to put Raven in the arena to get him some experience since I just got him last map, and it gave me nothing but lance units that could kill him. I wasted a lot of money trying to get Raven some experience. And I assume because of that, my funds rank is still sitting at 4 stars. Everything else though, 5 out of 5. Ye Olde Pirate Ship is a defend map, and one that can end when we kill the boss. So we're going to want to just kill as much stuff as quickly as possible, and then just kill the boss early to end the chapter. To the right is a bunch of sword goonies, and to the left is a bunch of mage goonies. So I do the tried and true strategy of splitting the party. I have Ellawood, Florina, and Kent on the right to deal with all the sword goonies and like the one archer. And on the left, I send everyone else to kill as much of the shamans as possible, as they give a decent amount of experience. Now the boss is holding on to his speed wings, so we have to trudge along Matthew, even though he really can't contribute to combat much, but that's fine. A speed wings is worth a lot of money. Now there are a lot of reinforcements on this map, but they're not enough to really warrant sticking around for the entire turn count. So I decide to just kill Zoldan right then and there. He has a Luna Tome, which with its crit chance, you kind of are just going to get one shot if it crits, but it's only like a 10% chance, so you're normally fine.
I have a question. Oh God. Why?
Chapter 19 is another map that doesn't really change much between a tactics playthrough and a regular one. You're already trying to do this map quickly in order to get to the Gaiden map, So because of that, not a whole lot differs from a regular playthrough. The only thing I can really talk about for this chapter is who you get on it. Dart. Now, I like Dart. Pretty good. We can't use him. Why? Because for some fucking reason, and I do not know why this is, his promotion item is worth 50,000 gold. I do not know why. It is 5 times more expensive than every other promotion item. It just is. You can't even use an Earth Seal on him. It has to be an Ocean Seal, so for a good funds rank, you have to leave Dart on the wayside. I know only like 22 people care about that, but that's just something I had to say. I don't know why the Ocean Seal is so expensive. 18X is a fairly simple map to get through, even with the whole no magic allowed hubbubaloo. The main things I do is I send Fiora up north to intercept the Pegasus Knights, both to protect Merlinus and to get her some experience, and I decide that it is probably worth it to spend some extra turns killing the snipers and knights, because they give a lot of experience. Now, as for Kashuna himself, I could try to kill him, but no, it's not really feasible. I'll fucking look at his stats. So he gets to live. This isn't Hector mode anyway. We're not trying for 19XX, so we can just beat the map and move on. Chapter 19 is another big map where the secret to completing it quickly is splitting the party up. Most people go to the left and north, trying to fight that weird paladin boss that has a portrait for some reason, and then just go kill Darin. Ellawood and some others go towards the room in the middle, killing the reinforcements there, and more importantly, opening up a way to the east. See, in this map, Legault shows up, and Legault likes to go around and stealing things. You have to talk to him with either Lyn or Ellawood, not Hector, so getting to him is the first problem, because he is very fast. So, rather than try to intercept him at the north part, which is technically feasible, but pretty difficult to get Ellawood up there that quickly, I instead opt to cut him off at the chests themselves, letting him pilfer them and then just talking to him once that's done. Making sure you can recruit Legault is kind of the only real challenge in this chapter, as everything else is just walking around, opening all the chests, and just killing as much things as you feel comfortable doing. After that, you seize the throne, and I am pleased to know that I've corrected my earlier lower funds rank, and I am currently sitting at a perfect 5 stars on everything. Chapter 20 is kind of a reset map. A huge story beat just happened, a fairly large chapter just occurred. This chapter is kind of more simple, just a straightforward line through a town to a warrior boss at the end. Nothing too crazy here. I mean, sure, there are wyvern riders that come out of the darkness and stab you to death in 37 different positions, but if you just have a torch staff or a Legault on hand, you can see them coming. This chapter really doesn't have anything too crazy, with the exception of that funky little arena in the middle. Now, I have learned nothing since the last time with Raven, so I throw Ellawood in there thinking to myself, alright, I can get some money and some experience. And what do you know? The first thing I come across is an armored knight. But, you know, Ellawood is still favored in the battle here. I mean, it's not like he's gonna miss several key hits and then get stabbed to death, right? After Ellawood misses several key hits and gets stabbed to death, I learn of a secret technique that can help me do the arena much better.
That's right, we're gonna cheat.
See, once you pay your money for the arena, the game gives you a little window telling you who you're going to fight. If you reset at this window, you don't actually get forced into the battle, and you can re-enter the arena and keep cycling through them until you get an opponent that favors you. Now, someone call this cheap. I say, I'm just still gambling, because you can totally get put with a merm, think to yourself, oh, Ellawood can handle that, and then he can't. So you're still more than capable of getting screwed, it just makes it less likely. And that is enough for me to say this isn't cheating. After doing this in the arena enough times, I decide that I've done enough, and I kill Oleg, knocking the hero crest out of him, and moving on to the next map. Chapter 21 is a defend map, and one where I can end it quickly by killing the boss. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I just gotta grab 2 new units and open 2 boxes. The very first turn, I have Priscilla go over with an unlock staff to open the door to the left, and then dance sing in front of her so that she doesn't die from the attacking Heath. I then recruit Heath with Ninian, which, by the way, you can recruit Heath with Ninian? I never knew that, and I don't know why Ninian can recruit him, but she can. After doing that, you need to have Lynn talk to Wrath, and then you're good to just end the map. Yeah, there's some reinforcements for a higher experience rank, but it's not enough to really warrant sticking around too long. So, since the boss is a paladin with a lance equipped, he is just as susceptible to wolf bailing as anything else with a lance equipped. So I just throw Hector in his face and call it a day. Chapter 22 is a route map in a desert, and thankfully, there's this sage in the middle, called Pent, you might have heard of him, who has a habit of killing everything for us. But, while that would make the map easier, we need to stop him from doing that, for two reasons. One, if he kills everything too quickly, we're not going to be able to nab all the desert treasures, and those are things we really want. They're worth a lot of money. Second, if Pent gets too many of the kills, we don't get a lot of the experience, and you need to get 700 experience in this chapter to unlock the Gaiden map. And normally, this is where I would make fun of FE7 for having really fucking weird Gaiden requirements, but I actually get the idea of this one. They're telling you, don't let Pent do all the work, you lazy bitch. And well, I'm gonna listen to him. So once you rescue Pent and get him out of there, you really just need to kill everything at your own pace. You will get the 700 experience on this map, especially since there are 2 bosses, which means that's basically a free 200 experience. The desert treasure has a 1 out of 11 chance of being picked up if a non-thief unit stands on it. And if a thief unit stands on it, it's a guaranteed hit. So I ferry Legault around and get him to pick up everything. While this does take a while, I feel like the funds and experience I get for taking my time on this map outweighs the slow amount of turns it takes me to do it, and I can make up those turns later if the worst comes to worst. Genesis is a funds and experience gold mine, but a tactics nightmare. You have to go through a bunch of cracked walls that take turns to break, locked doors that you have to go at your thief's pace around, and Kashunas in the middle of the map, making healing a little awkward. But everything here is pre-promoted, and not really that powerful, which means you get a fuck ton of experience for killing everything. So, while this does take a while to trudge along through, it's definitely worth it for the experience and money, because not only do all the chests give fairly pricey goodies, once you open the middle door, Kashuna dips the fuck out, and then the only non-promoted enemies on the map show up, and they all drop silver weapons. Now, there is a bit of a concern over the fact that I've completed multiple chapters in a row where I've decided to slow down my pace for more experience and funds. So the next few chapters, I'm going to try my best to do them quickly, maybe at the sacrifice of not killing everything. Thankfully, next map is a kill boss map. We just have to kill the Mad Dog Linus of the Black Fang, so we'll be pulling off an Old Yeller any percent speed run. The strategy is to just follow the coastline of the lake, kind of making a crescent shape, and then just attacking Linus, and sending someone else to go over to the houses and plunder all the goodies. We can finish this map very quickly. The only funny thing that happens is once I get to Linus, I swear that he moves, so I plan around the fact of him moving, and then he doesn't move. And then I awkwardly move forward, not really sure what the fuck's going on, and then I'm not paying attention and I get Florina killed. Tragic. I don't know if I'm thinking of Lloyd, or I'm thinking of hard mode, or I'm thinking of Hector mode, but regardless of how I'm an idiot, I am an idiot and Linus doesn't move. So all we have to do is go to him. This is really a simple chapter, and I would like to fuck around in that arena, but sadly I don't have the time to do so. The last few maps have kind of been tactics draining. In between maps, I decided it's about time to do my promotions. So, I promote the Christmas Calves, Raven, Fiora, and Urk. I don't promote Florina yet because they don't have a second Elysian Whip. I don't promote Priscilla yet because she's at 88 experience and promoting when you're that close to a level up just feels unclean. And I don't promote Lucius yet because I gave him the Alphas drops, so I want him to get some more levels. Now, why did I give Lucius the Alphas drops? Chapter 24 is a very easy, very boring defend map. There's a single village that a flyer can get to in like 3 turns, and all the enemies around us really don't pose any threat, with the exception of Vida and her jacked up stats. Now, after thinking about it, I decide I'm gonna fucking kill her. Why?
Why? 'Cause fuck 'em, that's why.
Well, doing so, I thought, would save a lot of turns, and it's not like Vida is a unit I'm frothing at the mouth to get, so I decide to actually take under killing Uber Spear Vida. And it's easier than I thought it was. Luis does most of the work herself, and I do need a lot of fringe 60s and 70s to hit, but once all of them hit, I actually kill Vida, and I feel great. And then I realized the chapter's still going. I had thought this was a map that ends when you kill the boss. It doesn't. So I just put in all the effort to kill Uber Spear Vida for nothing, and then I just finished the map normally. Chapter 25 is actually not that difficult to go through. It's just that everything is snowing, so you move at a snail's pace. But the path to Kenneth is actually fairly straightforward, and you can kill the things on the way. It's not that difficult to do quickly for a good tactics rank. The problem is I want Harkin. In order to get that, I have to ignore killing the promoted units because Harkin's recruitment requirement makes no fucking sense. This poses a problem for specifically Merlinus, because there is a general and a sage right next to him. Now I can kill one of them, but killing both of them means I get Carol instead of Harkin, and I don't want that. So I kinda have to leave Merlinus to die. And he actually survives a decent amount of the map. Like, I start to think he's almost gonna make it. And then the turn after he dies, 2 Wyvern Riders show up right next to him. I realize, oh, this dude's just fucked. And then I just complete the map, leaving Marcus behind to recruit Harkin, and then I win the map on the same turn, getting this one done very nicely, very quickly. Poor Merlinus, though. He was a real one. Battle Before Dawn is one of the most infamous chapters in Fire Emblem, but you might be surprised to learn that if you're trying to play it well, you don't do anything differently. It's a defend map where you can't kill the boss to end the map. Because of that, you just play it like you would on a normal run. There's really no complex strategy here for a tactics run. So I'm just gonna explain what I normally do with this map. And that's send Lyn and some dudes to the right, and then everyone else to the left, and then just kinda meet in the middle. The path to Nino is definitely the weaker path, so you just send some combat units down there, talk to Nino, you run down to the left, kill everything that moves, and then you have Nino go talk to Jafar. It's not really a complicated map. The problem is more so a hard mode thing, where Jafar is actually mortal. But on normal mode, Jafar is an immortal god, you don't gotta worry about him. I've gone on record saying I think this map is stupid, and I do not change my mind for this video. But if I'm trying to play this map effectively, I decide that the best thing to do is just circumvent it entirely with flyers. So I just pick up Legault, put him where he needs to steal things, and then take him away. And do the same thing with Ellawood when it comes time to seize the map. The only interesting thing that happens is that I forgot there was this bishop with Berserk. I always forget that bishop with Berserk is there, and they Berserk Jafar, and I need to reset. Woo! Completely my own fault, but meh. And on the reset, they actually managed to land a hit on Legault, which is only like a 50% chance, and a Berserked Legault steals the Angelic Robe, which was really funny to me. I was then able to restore him and then airdrop him away, but I didn't know Berserk units could steal. You're probably wondering why you're looking at a black screen for all of this. Well, that's because, on my second attempt, I forgot to hit the record button on OBS until this random-ass moment towards the end of the map. Yeah. I am a professional. Beating Sonya is easy enough. Since she uses a bolting tome, you just have to make sure you attack her before she drops it. So I have Sane go kill probably the only woman in the entire world he wouldn't sleep with, and then I just take the chest at the top right and call it a day. Now what's starting to worry me is that ever since I promoted my units, my funds rank has been sitting at 4 stars, and that hasn't changed. I expected it to go down because I used the promotion items and they're worth money, but I didn't expect it to still stay down. So we'll have to see if I can pick that up somewhere. Chapter 27 is the biggest map in the game. So huge, in fact, that I can no longer get away with just breaking into 2 groups to clear it effectively. I have to break into 3. To the right, I send Lynn, Raven, and Priscilla, a small group to go up there and kill all the cavalry. In the middle, I send all my axe dudes, and also the Gult to steal a random-ass blue gem a general has, because everything there is an armored lance, and Geets can handle everything pretty much on his own by doing his best Top Man impression from Mega Man 3. And to the left, I send the Christmas Calves and the Flyer Sisters alongside Urk for healing. By splitting up into 3 like this, I'm able to beat the map very quickly than if I tried to keep everyone as a group. The only funny things that happened is I always forget the Sword Slayer works on your class, not on the weapon you have equipped, so I'm not gonna say I shit my pants when Raven almost dies here, but yeah, I almost shit my pants when Raven almost died there. The other interesting thing that happened is at the very end, Fiora was the one I chose to fight Lloyd. Now, there was a chance of her dying if she got hit by one of the 60% and then got hit by the crit, but I said, there's no way that happens. I said, there's no way she gets hit by this crit.
And I said, you know, like a liar.
This next map, by design, is a very simple one. It's created to let promoted Ellawood go forward in a straight line, kill things, and just feel cool doing it. There's really not a whole lot to talk about here. I mean, I could talk about how, when I get to the boss, I get hit by a 36 into getting hit by another 36 and then die, right after last map where the boss killed me on some BS hit rates, but I couldn't talk about that. Why would I need to talk about that? You know, definitely nothing I want to talk about. Definitely not screaming into the void right now. I am definitely calm and collected, and I'm completely okay with the events that transpired. Chapter 29 is another defend map, and another defend map where killing the boss doesn't end it early. So, for a good run for the tactics rank, I just play the map normally. I make no deviations in what I do, I just kill everything, and then wait patiently for the map to decide it's ready to end. So yeah, I don't have a lot to talk about. Oh, a knight managed to get a kill on a sniper, you know? A green unit getting a kill on a promoted unit, that was kind of cool. Yeah. Chapter 29X literally just exists as a shopping spree and blood combat in the arena, and I just kinda fuck around there. I only buy a few healing staves, I don't actually buy that many weapons because of my funds rank, and despite the fact that 30,000 gold just went directly in my pockets, I don't have a 5-star in funds. It's starting to get really concerning that I don't have the maximum funds rank, so I'm kind of just praying to God that the S-rank weapons on the final map account for all of the funds rank. We'll see how that strategy plays out. Finally, the penultimate map of the game is a map where there's enough going on that I can actually stop and talk about things. Like with Cog of Destiny, I split up into 3 groups. I send the Flyers and the Cavaliers up to the north to go nab Renault, and by Renault I really just mean that fortify staff he has, that's the main thing I want. I send my axes to the right to kill things and get to the Sophia ruins, which, fun fact, if you visit that with Hawkeye, Sophia and Hawkeye have a unique conversation, because Hawkeye actually knows who Sophia is. A little bit of a nice callback to him being the guardian of Nevada. And right down the gut, I send Ellawood and Penton Louise and miscellaneous other characters to just gun for the throne. Now this map actually poses an interesting question, and that's how long I should fuck around and find out for. This map has a fuck ton of reinforcements, like literally over 100 units of reinforcements, and they all give a lot of XP. But the problem is I don't know how much I need to worry about my tactics rank and how much I need to worry about my experience rank. Now, I could very easily be keeping track of my tactics rank by recording how many turns it takes me to beat each map, but I haven't been doing that. But I have 5 stars in experience and tactics, so I just kind of assume I'm on a good pace with both, and I don't linger here for too long. Whether or not that's a mistake, we'll find out at the end of next map. Speaking of next map, it's the final map, so I gotta change the background music to something epic. Something to really get the blood pumping for the final map. The final map of the game is one that's thematically really cool, but if you're trying to blaze through it quickly, that is literally impossible. At the end of every turn, a door opens revealing some of the reanimated corpses of the Black Fang, and you need to kill them. You can't really play this quickly because you can't open the doors yourself. You need to wait for the map to open them. Thematically, opening it up and seeing a reanimated corpse of someone you killed several chapters ago, really cool. But for a video about completing things quickly, kinda blows donkey dick. But the thing you can do to make this a little smarter is just position someone in front of the door that's about to open. The map's doors open in the same way every time, so you can be ready to fight anything that shows up. Now, after they're all dead, the way to Nurgle opens, and Geets gets hit with the Berserk Staff, which would be scary if I didn't just kill Nurgle right here because of the godsend that is Luna. Now, normally, I think Luna's a little overrated. People call it the best weapon in the game because it ignores resistance, but nothing in FE7 has resistance, so just give Canis a Flux Tome. Except for this bitch. Nurgle actually has a lot of resistance. Athos comes in with capped magic. So with Luna, Nurgle's actually a little pussy-ass bitch, and we can move on to part 2. The dragon is a powerful enemy that has incredible defenses, incredible damage, and I just use Luna again. For the exact same reasons it's good on Nurgle, it's good on the dragon. So while Luna is not the best tome for regular usage, it is the best way to clear the final 2 maps. Way better than the actual S-rank weapons the game gives you. So yeah. Athos even gets a crit for the final Luna, which is sexy, if a bit unnecessary. But hey, we beat the game, and it's time to see the big reveal. How well did I do for my first time trying to beat this game for a 5-star tactics rank? My final turn count ended up being 279, which was 20 less than the requirement needed, so I nailed that one pretty comfortably. I could have fucked around and found out a lot more, which is probably why my experience rank was only 4 stars. I guess on the last 2 maps, I should have waited around and killed more reinforcements. So, the more you know. Should probably have kept track of my turn count so I knew I could fuck around there, so that one's on me. My survival was perfect because no one died. That doesn't need any explanation. My ratio was also perfect, and I can't really talk about it because you don't have a metric to see your ratio. So, 5 stars, good enough for me. And my funds rank was 4 stars. It turns out the weapons were not enough for it. My funds were sitting at 830,000, which was just about 90,000 gold less than I needed.
Don't you have enough money? No.
I never sold any of the gems. I didn't use pretty much every stat booster except the boots. All my funds rank lost was the promotion items, which apparently I used too many of. The funds rank is just that strict, and I had no idea. So apparently, that was the one I should have been afraid of this whole time, not the tactics and experience. But hey, that's a learning experience, and I still got 5 stars overall. So you know what? I'm counting this as a win overall. For my first time going through, I did a pretty damn good job, and maybe I'll go through it for another Fire Emblem game. Who knows? Watch this video if you want it. Wait, I probably shouldn't put that at the end of the video. I should probably tell people to watch it at like the start of the video. That was not the smart thing to do. Bye.